Hello there and welcome to the Dreamy Science Channel. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe you've had a long day, or perhaps you're someone who finds comfort in gentle facts and ancient mysteries rather than counting sheep. Either way, tonight's journey is designed for you. You have nothing to do but rest. Let your breathing slow, your muscles soften, and your mind drift like leaves settling on still water. Because tonight, we're traveling back through deep time to meet the dinosaurs. Not the roaring, stomping giants of movies, but the real creatures that lived, breathed, and walked this earth for over 160 million years. We'll discover their quiet secrets, their surprising gentleness, and the peaceful rhythms of their ancient world. Some of what you hear tonight may surprise you, or simply float by like whispers from a distant past. And if these calm explorations help you unwind or give you a peaceful way to end your day, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. Now, let's begin our gentle journey into the age of dinosaurs. Most dinosaurs were actually quite small, no bigger than chickens. When we picture dinosaurs, we often imagine massive creatures towering over the landscape. But the truth is far more delicate. The majority of dinosaur species were small, graceful animals. Many were no larger than modern birds, which makes perfect sense since birds are dinosaurs themselves. These tiny dinosaurs scurried through ancient forests, their small feet pattering softly across fern-covered ground. Some were no bigger than sparrows, with delicate bones and feathers that caught the filtered sunlight of prehistoric woods. They lived quiet lives among the undergrowth, searching for seeds, small insects, and tender shoots. Their world was not one of thunderous footsteps, but of gentle rustling, soft chirps, and the whisper, peer of small wings. These miniature dinosaurs remind us that size doesn't determine importance, and that even in the age of giants, there was room for the small and gentle. Dinosaurs lived during the most peaceful climate Earth has ever known. The Mesozoic era, when dinosaurs ruled the Earth, was a time of remarkable tranquility in terms of climate. There were no ice caps at the poles, no harsh winters to endure. The world was warm and humid, like a vast greenhouse garden stretching from pole to pole. Gentle rains fell regularly, nurturing lush forests of ferns, cycads, and early flowering plants. Rivers meandered slowly through broad valleys, and shallow seas covered much of what would become modern continents. This stable, mild climate meant that dinosaurs could spread across the globe, from Alaska to Antarctica, all enjoying similar warm conditions. There were no sudden temperature changes, no ice ages to survive, just millions of years of consistent warmth and plenty. It was a world where life could flourish without the stress of extreme weather, where seasons were gentle transitions rather than harsh challenges. Many dinosaurs were vegetarians who spent their days peacefully grazing. The largest dinosaurs were gentle giants, plant eaters who moved slowly through their world like living mountains. Sauropods like Brontosaurus and Diplodocus spent their days in quiet contemplation, reaching their long necks high into the canopy to browse on soft leaves and tender shoots. They moved in herds, their massive feet leaving deep, slow impressions in the soft earth. These giants had no need for aggression or speed. Their size alone protected them, and their diet required nothing more than patience and a good appetite for plants. They would stand in one spot for hours, methodically stripping leaves from tall conifers, their small heads working constantly to fuel their enormous bodies. The sound of their world was not roaring or fighting, but the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft thud of massive feet, and the quiet satisfaction of creatures perfectly adapted to their peaceful existence. Dinosaur babies were tiny and helpless, cared for with remarkable tenderness. Even the largest dinosaurs began life as small, vulnerable hatchlings no bigger than your hand. These tiny creatures emerged from eggs that were surprisingly small compared to their eventual adult size. A baby Tyrannosaurus rex was no larger than a small dog, covered in soft, downy feathers for warmth. Parent dinosaurs showed remarkable care for their young, building elaborate nests, bringing food, and protecting their babies from harm. Some dinosaurs even sat on their nests like modern birds, using their body heat to keep the eggs warm. Fossils show evidence of dinosaur nurseries, areas where many families would bring their young to grow up together in safety. The adults would take turns watching over the babies while others went to find food. This gentle parenting lasted for months or even years, as the young dinosaurs slowly grew and learned the skills they would need to survive in their ancient world. Many dinosaurs had feathers and came in beautiful, soft colors. Far from the gray and green monsters of popular imagination, many dinosaurs were actually colorful, feathered creatures. Scientists have discovered that numerous dinosaur species had feathers, not for flight, but for display, warmth, and communication. These feathers came in brilliant hues, rich browns and russets, deep blues and greens, and even iridescent colors that shimmered in the sunlight. Some dinosaurs had elaborate crests and plumes, like living works of art walking through the ancient forests. Small theropods were covered in soft, fluffy feathers that kept them warm during cool nights. Others had long, decorative plumes that they could raise and lower to communicate with their mates or rivals. These feathers were often patterned with stripes, spots, or bands of color, making each dinosaur unique. The forests of the Mesozoic were filled not with drab reptiles, but with creatures as colorful as tropical birds, their feathers catching the dappled sunlight as they moved gracefully through their world. Dinosaurs sang to each other in gentle, musical voices. The sounds of the dinosaur world were far different from the terrifying roars we imagine. Most dinosaurs communicated through soft calls, musical trills, and gentle vibrations. Many had vocal structures similar to modern birds, allowing them to produce complex songs and melodies. Parent dinosaurs would call softly to their young, using specific notes that only their babies could recognize. Herds of plant-eating dinosaurs would coordinate their movements through low, rumbling calls that traveled for miles through the dense air of their warm world. Some dinosaurs could produce sounds so low that we wouldn't be able to hear them. Deep vibrations that resonated through their bodies and the ground beneath their feet. Others sang in higher pitches, creating melodies that drifted through the ancient forests like natural symphonies. The dawn chorus of the Mesozoic would have been filled with dinosaur songs, each species adding its own voice to the gentle cacophony of a world waking up. The largest dinosaurs moved with surprising grace and gentleness. Despite their enormous size, The giant sauropods moved through their world with remarkable elegance. Their long necks swayed rhythmically as they walked, like massive pendulums keeping time with their slow, steady pace. Their feet, though huge, were designed with soft pads that cushioned their steps and allowed them to move almost silently through the forests. These gentle giants had to be careful not to damage the smaller creatures and plants around them, and fossil evidence suggests they were remarkably successful at this. They followed well-worn paths through the landscape, creating the first highways that would be used by countless generations of dinosaurs. When they lay down to rest, they did so slowly and carefully, trolling their massive bodies onto the ground like living hills. Their breathing was deep and slow, their hearts beating with the rhythm of distant thunder, barely audible even to creatures standing nearby. Dinosaurs loved to bathe and swim in warm, shallow waters. Many dinosaurs were excellent swimmers who spent considerable time in the water. The warm climate of the Mesozoic created vast shallow seas, lagoons, and slow-moving rivers that were perfect for aquatic activities. Large plant eaters would wade into these waters to cool off during the warmest parts of the day, submerging their massive bodies until only their heads remained above the surface. Smaller dinosaurs would splash and play in the shallows, using the water to clean their feathers and skin. Some dinosaurs were so comfortable in water that they spent most of their time there, diving for aquatic plants and small fish. The sound of water gently lapping against dinosaur bodies, the soft splash of a tail, or the quiet breathing of a partially submerged giant would have been common sounds near any body of water during the age of dinosaurs. These aquatic interludes provided relief from the heat and a chance for dinosaurs to relax and socialize in the soothing embrace of warm water. Some dinosaurs migrated vast distances following gentle seasonal patterns. Although the world of the dinosaurs lacked harsh winters, there were still subtle seasonal changes that influenced their behavior. Some dinosaur species undertook long, leisurely migrations, following the patterns of plant growth and rainfall across the ancient continents. These migrations were not desperate flights from harsh weather, but rather gentle wanderings in search of the best feeding grounds and nesting sites. Herds would move slowly across the landscape, taking weeks or months to cover hundreds of miles. They followed ancient paths that had been used for millions of years, routes that led from one peaceful valley to another, along the shores of warm seas, or through passes in low, weathered mountains. Sea migrations were social events, with different family groups meeting and traveling together, sharing information about food and water sources. The movement of these herds created a gentle rhythm across the continents, a slow pulse of life that connected distant regions of the dinosaur world. Dinosaur fossils show evidence of play and social bonding. Scientists have found fossil evidence that suggests many dinosaurs engaged in playful behaviors and formed strong social bonds with their family members and herdmates. Trackways preserved in ancient mud show young dinosaurs running and chasing each other, their footprints weaving back and forth in patterns that suggest games rather than serious pursuits. Some fossils show groups of dinosaurs resting together, their bodies arranged in ways that indicate comfort and trust. Adult dinosaurs would groom each other, using their small arms or beaks to clean hard-to-reach spots on their companions. Family groups stayed together for extended periods, with multiple generations, sometimes living and traveling as one unit. These social structures, created a sense of community and mutual support that helped dinosaurs thrive in their ancient world. The bonds between dinosaur family members were strong and lasting, creating networks of care and cooperation that spanned entire lifetimes. The plants in the dinosaur world were equally peaceful and abundant. The flora of the Mesozoic era created a world of incredible abundance and gentle beauty. Vast forests of ferns created cool, shaded spaces where smaller dinosaurs could rest during the heat of the day. Cycads with their crown-like arrangements of leaves provided both food and shelter. The first flowering plants appeared during this time, adding splashes of color to the green landscape. These early flowers were simple but beautiful, attracting the first pollinating insects and creating the beginning of the complex relationships between plants and animals that we see today. Moss-covered rocks and fallen logs created soft carpets where dinosaurs could rest comfortably. The air was filled with the gentle fragrance of flowering, plants, and the rich, earthy smell of decomposing vegetation. This lush plant life created a world of plenty, where herbivorous dinosaurs never had to worry about finding enough to eat, and where the very landscape seemed designed for comfort and abundance. Many dinosaurs slept in communal groups for warmth and protection. As day turned to night in the dinosaur world, many species would gather together to sleep in large groups. These sleeping arrangements served multiple purposes, providing warmth, protection, and companionship during the vulnerable hours of darkness. Large herbivores would form circles with the youngest and most vulnerable members in the center, while the adults faced outward to watch for any potential threats. Smaller dinosaurs would nestle together in natural shelters like hollow logs or shallow caves, their soft feathers helping to keep the entire group warm. Some species built sleeping nests from vegetation, creating comfortable beds that could accommodate multiple individuals. The sounds of a dinosaur sleeping group were gentle and rhythmic, soft breathing, the occasional rustle as someone adjusted their position, and the quiet sounds of contentment from creatures that felt safe and secure, surrounded by their family and friends. Dinosaur eggs were works of art, carefully crafted and beautifully arranged. The nests of dinosaurs were marvels of prehistoric engineering and artistry. These ancient creatures didn't simply lay their eggs anywhere, but created elaborate nurseries with the care of devoted architects. Some dinosaur eggs were perfectly round and smooth, polished like precious stones. Others were elongated and textured, with surfaces that caught and reflected the soft light of the Mesozoic sun. The colors ranged from pure white to soft blues and greens, some with delicate speckled patterns that looked like they had been painted by gentle hands. Parent dinosaurs would arrange these eggs in careful spirals or neat rows, sometimes covering them with soft vegetation to maintain the perfect temperature. The nests themselves were shallow bowls scraped into the earth, often lined with the softest materials the parents could find. Feathers, moss, and tender leaves created comfortable cradles where the next generation would develop in peaceful warmth. The forests of the dinosaur age whispered with gentle breezes and soft sounds. Walking through a Mesozoic forest would have been like entering a living cathedral of green tranquility. The air moved slowly through the dense canopy, creating soft whispers as it passed through countless leaves and fronds. Sunlight filtered down in golden shafts, illuminating patches of forest floor covered in soft moss and fallen leaves. The sounds were subtle and soothing, the distant call of a small dinosaur, the gentle plash of water dropping from leaf to leaf, the soft rustle of a large herbivore moving carefully through the undergrowth. These forests had a timeless quality, having grown and flourished for millions of years without the disruption of ice ages or dramatic climate changes. Ancient trees reached toward the sky with unhurried patience, some growing so large and old that they became landmarks for generations of dinosaurs who passed beneath their spreading branches. Some dinosaurs had the most delicate and intricate bone structures ever discovered. The skeletons of certain dinosaurs reveal an almost impossible combination of strength and delicacy. Small theropods had bones that were hollow and light, like those of modern birds, but arranged in patterns of breathtaking complexity. Their skulls were works of natural sculpture, with graceful curves and elegant proportions that speak to millions of years of gentle evolution. Even the massive sauropods had surprisingly refined skeletal structures, with vertebrae that were hollowed out to reduce weight while maintaining incredible strength. The way these bones connected and moved together created a harmony of form and function that allowed these creatures to live their lives with fluid grace. Fossil evidence shows that many dinosaurs had skeletal features that we might consider beautiful, delicate ridges and curves that served both practical and aesthetic purposes in their ancient world. Dinosaur skin was often soft and supple, designed for comfort rather than armor. While some dinosaurs did have protective scales or bony plates, many species had skin that was remarkably soft and flexible. Small feathered dinosaurs had skin much like that of modern birds, smooth and warm beneath their colorful plumage. Larger herbivores often had thick but pliable skin that could stretch and move as they bent their long necks or shifted their massive bodies. Some dinosaurs had skin with unique textures, smooth patches for sensitive areas like around the eyes and mouth, and slightly rougher areas for protection from thorns and branches. The skin of many species changed color slightly with the seasons or their emotional state, creating subtle displays of communication that added another layer to their complex social lives. This skin was kept healthy through regular dust baths, water bathing, and mutual grooming sessions that strengthened social bonds while maintaining personal hygiene. The herbivorous dinosaurs had digestive systems perfectly designed for a life of peaceful grazing. These gentle giants possessed incredibly sophisticated digestive systems that allowed them to extract maximum nutrition from the abundant plant life of their era. Their stomachs were like living gardens, filled with beneficial bacteria that helped break down tough plant fibers into digestible nutrients. Many herbivorous dinosaurs had multiple stomach chambers, similar to modern ruminants, allowing them to process their food slowly and thoroughly. They would often lie down in comfortable positions to aid their digestion, resting peacefully in sunny clearings while their bodies worked to convert leaves and shoots into energy. The process was so efficient that these dinosaurs could spend most of their day in relaxed feeding, never having to rush or compete aggressively for resources. Their long digestive process meant they moved through life at a calm, measured pace that matched the unhurried rhythm of their peaceful world. Dinosaur footprints tell stories of leisurely walks and family journeys. The fossil record preserves thousands of dinosaur trackways that reveal intimate details about how these creatures moved through their world. Most of these trackways show evidence of unhurried, purposeful movement, rather than frantic running or aggressive chasing. Family groups can be identified by the different sizes of footprints walking together, with smaller prints often positioned between larger ones, showing how adults protected their young during long journeys. Some trackways show dinosaurs stopping to rest, with deeper impressions where they stood still for extended periods, perhaps to feed or simply to enjoy a pleasant view. The spacing between footprints indicates that most dinosaurs preferred a comfortable walking pace that allowed them to observe their surroundings and interact with their companions. These ancient pathways crisscross the prehistoric landscape like gentle highways, connecting feeding grounds, nesting sites, and watering holes in a network of well-traveled routes that were used by countless generations. The sounds of the dinosaur world created natural symphonies that lasted for hours. The acoustic environment of the Mesozoic era was rich with gentle sounds that created complex, soothing compositions throughout the day and night. Different species had their own preferred times for vocalization, creating natural concerts that changed with the hours. Dawn might bring the soft, cooing calls of small dinosaurs greeting the sunrise, while midday featured the deeper, more resonant calls of large herbivores communicating across vast distances. Evening brought a different set of sounds, as families called to each other before settling down for the night. These vocalizations weren't harsh or aggressive, but melodic and purposeful, designed to maintain social bonds and coordinate group activities. The natural acoustics of the lush prehistoric landscape enhanced these sounds, creating echoes and harmonics that added depth and richness to the dinosaur chorus. Listening to this ancient world would have been like experiencing a continuous, ever-changing concert performed by creatures who understood the value of gentle communication. Many dinosaurs showed remarkable intelligence and problem-solving abilities in peaceful contexts. The behavior of dinosaurs reveals surprising levels of intelligence that were often used for cooperative rather than competitive purposes. Some species demonstrated the ability to work together to solve problems, such as finding new routes to water sources during dry periods, or coordinating group movements through difficult terrain. Parent dinosaurs showed sophisticated teaching behaviors, gently guiding their young through important life skills, like finding the best food plants or recognizing potential dangers. Social dinosaurs developed complex communication systems that allowed them to share information about resources and coordinate group activities without conflict. Some species even show evidence of using simple tools, such as rocks for cracking tough seeds or sticks for extracting insects from bark. This intelligence was applied primarily to making their lives more comfortable and efficient, rather than for aggressive purposes, creating a world where mental abilities were used to enhance cooperation and mutual benefit. The climate patterns of the dinosaur world created perfect conditions for rest and relaxation. The weather systems of the Mesozoic era were remarkably stable and predictable, creating an environment where dinosaurs could plan their activities around gentle, consistent patterns. Rainfall came in soft, regular showers that nourished the landscape without creating dangerous floods or extended droughts. The atmospheric pressure was higher than today, making the air denser and more supportive, which helped the largest dinosaurs breathe more easily and move with less effort. Seasonal changes were subtle and gradual, marked more by shifts in plant growth and food availability than by harsh temperature swings. This predictable climate allowed dinosaurs to develop regular routines and behavioral patterns, turns that could be maintained year after year. They knew when and where to expect the best feeding conditions, the most comfortable temperatures, and the safest nesting sites. This climate stability contributed to the overall sense of peace and security that characterized life in the age of dinosaurs. Dinosaur social hierarchies were based on cooperation rather than domination. The social structures of many dinosaur species were remarkably peaceful and based on mutual benefit rather than aggressive competition. In herds of herbivorous dinosaurs, leadership roles were often filled by the most experienced individuals rather than the strongest or most aggressive. These leaders guided their groups to the best feeding areas and safest resting spots, sharing their knowledge for the benefit of all. Social bonds were maintained through gentle interactions like mutual grooming, shared feeding, and cooperative care of young. Even among species that might seem competitive, fossil evidence suggests that conflicts were resolved through displays and posturing rather than actual violence. The abundant resources of the Mesozoic world meant that there was usually enough food and space for everyone, reducing the need for aggressive competition. This cooperative approach to social organization created stable, long-lasting groups where individuals could focus on the peaceful activities of feeding, resting, and raising their families rather than constantly defending their position in a hostile hierarchy. The water sources of the dinosaur world provided tranquil gathering places for countless species. Gentle streams meandered through the prehistoric landscape, their waters warm and crystal clear, perfect for drinking, bathing, and socializing. These waterways were bordered by soft, muddy banks where dinosaurs would come to drink and rest, leaving behind the fossilized evidence of their peaceful congregations. Large lakes dotted the continents, their surfaces mirror smooth except for the gentle ripples created by wading dinosaurs. These bodies of water were often surrounded by lush vegetation that provided both food and shade, creating natural oases where different species could coexist peacefully. The sound of water flowing over smooth stones, the soft splash of a drinking dinosaur, or the quiet lapping of waves against the shore would have been constant, soothing background music in this ancient world. Hot springs, warmed by the Earth's internal heat, provided year-round comfort where dinosaurs could soak their tired muscles and socialize in naturally heated pools. Many dinosaur species practiced gentle courtship rituals filled with grace and beauty. The mating behaviors of dinosaurs were often elaborate displays of tenderness and artistry, rather than aggressive competition. Males would perform slow, graceful dances, their colorful feathers or crests catching the sunlight as they moved in careful patterns designed to demonstrate their fitness and gentleness. Some species built beautiful structures from stones, shells, or vegetation, creating natural art installations to attract potential mates. Others would bring gifts of the finest foods or most beautiful objects they could find, presenting them with the delicacy of a skilled diplomat. Vocal courtship involved soft serenades that could last for hours, with complex melodies that showed both the singer's creativity and their patience. These rituals were rarely rushed or aggressive, but instead unfolded over days or weeks, allowing pairs to get to know each other gradually and form strong bonds based on mutual attraction and compatibility, rather than dominance or force. The sleeping habits of dinosaurs reveal creatures perfectly adapted to rest and restoration. Many dinosaur species had specific preferences for their sleeping arrangements that showed remarkable consideration for comfort and security. Some preferred to sleep standing up, like modern horses, allowing them to rest while remaining alert for any changes in their environment. Others would carefully choose soft spots covered with moss or fallen leaves, arranging themselves in positions that supported their long necks and tails. Family groups often slept in close contact, with parents positioning themselves protectively around their offspring. The breathing patterns of sleeping dinosaurs would have created gentle rhythms in the quiet night air, deep and slow exhalations that spoke of creatures completely at peace in their world. Some species may have experienced REM sleep similar to modern animals, their minds processing the gentle experiences of their days through dreams filled with warm sunlight, abundant food, and the companionship of their kind. Dinosaur teeth revealed dietary preferences that emphasized gentle feeding methods. The incredible variety of dinosaur teeth tells a story of creatures perfectly adapted to extract nutrition from their environment without causing unnecessary damage or distress. Herbivorous dinosaurs had teeth designed for careful cropping and grinding, allowing them to harvest plants efficiently while leaving root systems intact for future growth. Some had hundreds of tiny teeth that worked like living scissors, cutting vegetation with precision and care. Others had broad, flat teeth that could grind tough plant material into easily digestible pulp. Even the carnivorous dinosaurs often had teeth that suggested they preferred scavenging or fishing to hunting live prey, feeding on creatures that had died nature, ally rather than engaging in violent predation. The wear patterns on fossil teeth show that many dinosaurs took their time while eating, chewing thoroughly and savoring their food rather than gulping it down in haste. The prehistoric atmosphere itself contributed to the peaceful nature of dinosaur life. The air of the Mesozoic era was different from what we breathe today, containing higher levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide that created ideal conditions for both plant and animal life. This rich atmosphere supported the growth of enormous plants that provided abundant food for herbivorous dinosaurs. while also making breathing easier for creatures of all sizes. The higher atmospheric density created a greenhouse effect that kept temperatures stable and warm across the globe, eliminating the stress of temperature extremes. The air currents were gentle and predictable, rarely creating violent storms or harsh weather conditions. This stable atmospheric environment allowed dinosaurs to develop regular behavior, patterns, and daily routines without having to constantly adapt to changing conditions. The very air they breathed was like a soft blanket that wrapped around the entire planet, creating perfect conditions for a peaceful existence. Dinosaur family structures were remarkably stable and nurturing across generations. Many dinosaur species formed family bonds that lasted for years or even decades, creating multi-generational groups where knowledge and care were passed down through the ages. Grandparent dinosaurs would help care for their grandchildren, sharing the wisdom of their long lives and providing additional protection and guidance. These extended families would travel together, feed together, and rest together, creating stable social units that could weather any challenges their gentle world might present. Young dinosaurs would learn not just from their parents, but from aunts, uncles, and older siblings, creating rich networks of education and support. The fossil record shows evidence of these family groups staying together through migrations, seasonal changes, and daily activities, suggesting that family bonds were one of the most important aspects of dinosaur society. These relationships were maintained through constant gentle interactions, shared experiences, and mutual care that strengthened over time. The growth patterns of young dinosaurs were gradual and carefully supported by their communities. Baby dinosaurs didn't grow in sudden spurts that might cause stress or discomfort, but instead developed slowly and steadily over many months or years. This gradual growth allowed them to adapt to their increasing size without losing their agility or grace, and gave their parents and communities time to adjust their care and protection accordingly. Young dinosaurs would practice adult behaviors through gentle play and exploration, always under the watchful eyes of their elders. Their diet would change gradually as they grew, with parents carefully introducing new foods and feeding techniques at just the right developmental stages. The physical changes of growth were accompanied by social development, as young dinosaurs slowly took on more responsibilities within their family groups and learned the complex social skills they would need as adults. This extended childhood created strong bonds and ensured that each new generation was well prepared for the peaceful challenges of life in their ancient world. The geological features of the dinosaur world provided natural comfort and shelter. The landscape of the Mesozoic era was shaped by gentle geological processes that created ideal living conditions for dinosaurs. Rolling hills and broad valleys provided diverse habitats without creating barriers that might separate families or herds. The mountains were generally low and weathered, creating gradual slopes that were easy to navigate rather than harsh cliff faces or dangerous precipices. Caves and rock overhangs provided natural shelters where dinosaurs could rest during rain or seek shade during the warmest parts of the day. The soil was rich and soft, perfect for digging nests or creating comfortable resting spots. Rivers carved gentle channels through the landscape, creating natural highways that dinosaurs could follow during their migrations. Even the volcanic activity of this era was generally mild and predictable, creating warm springs and fertile soils rather than dangerous eruptions that might threaten the peaceful inhabitants of this ancient world. Many dinosaurs showed evidence of advanced emotional intelligence and empathy. The behavior patterns preserved in fossils and trackways suggest that many dinosaur species possessed sophisticated emotional lives and the ability to understand and respond to the feelings of others. Groups of dinosaurs would slow their pace to accommodate injured or elderly members, showing patience and consideration that speaks to genuine empathy. Parents would comfort distressed young with gentle touches and soothing vocalizations, demonstrating emotional awareness and responsiveness. Some fossils show evidence of dinosaurs staying with sick or dying companions, providing comfort and companionship during difficult times. These behaviors suggest that dinosaurs experienced emotions like grief, joy, contentment, and affection, and that these feelings played important roles in their daily lives and social interactions. Their emotional intelligence contributed to the stable, peaceful nature of their communities and helped create the cooperative social structures that allowed them to thrive for millions of years. The sensory world of dinosaurs was rich with gentle stimulation and peaceful awareness. Different dinosaur species possessed highly developed senses that were perfectly attuned to their peaceful environment. Many had excellent eyesight that allowed them to appreciate the visual beauty of their world, from the intricate patterns of leaves and flowers to the subtle color changes in their companions' feathers or skin. Their hearing was often acute enough to detect the softest sounds, from the whisper of wind through vegetation to the gentle calls of distant friends. Some species had enhanced senses of smell that allowed them to locate the ripest fruits, the sweetest flowers, or the most comfortable resting spots. Touch was also important, with many dinosaurs having sensitive areas of skin that allowed them to enjoy gentle physical contact with family members and companions. These well-developed senses created a rich sensory experience that made their daily lives filled with gentle pleasures and peaceful awareness of their beautiful world. The daily rhythms of dinosaur life followed natural patterns that promoted rest and well-being. Most dinosaur species developed regular daily routines that were perfectly synchronized with the natural cycles of their environment. They would wake gently with the sunrise, spending the cool morning hours in active feeding or social interaction. As the day warmed, they would seek shade and rest, often spending the hottest hours in quiet contemplation or sleep. The cooler evening hours brought renewed activity, more feeding and social bonding before settling down for the night. These patterns weren't rigid or stressful, but rather flowed naturally with the conditions of their world. Some species were more active during certain seasons, while others maintained consistent routines year-round. The predictability of these patterns created a sense of security and contentment that allowed dinosaurs to live their lives without anxiety or stress, knowing that each day would bring familiar comforts and gentle pleasures in a reliable, peaceful sequence. The nesting colonies of dinosaurs were peaceful communities where multiple families raised their young together. In certain areas of the prehistoric world, hundreds of dinosaur families would gather to create vast nesting grounds that stretched for miles across the landscape. These colonies were marvels of cooperation and mutual support, where experienced parents would share their knowledge with first-time breeders, and the entire community would work together to protect all the young. The nests were arranged in careful patterns that allowed for easy movement between families, while providing maximum protection from the elements. Older juveniles would help care for newly hatched babies, creating a network of caregivers that ensured no young dinosaur was ever left alone or unprotected. The sounds of these colonies were gentle and nurturing, filled with soft calls between parents and babies, the rustle of careful movement, and the contented sounds of a community at peace. These nesting grounds were used year after year, with some locations showing evidence of continuous use for thousands of generations. Some dinosaurs created the most beautiful and intricate nests ever discovered in the fossil record. The architectural skills of certain dinosaur species rivaled those of the most accomplished modern birds, creating nests that were both functional and aesthetically pleasing. These structures were carefully engineered to provide perfect drainage, optimal temperature control, and maximum protection for the developing eggs. Some nests were lined with the softest materials available, creating cushioned environments where eggs could develop in complete comfort. Others were built with elaborate drainage systems that prevented water from pooling during gentle rains. The most sophisticated nests included separate chambers for different developmental stages, allowing parents to move their eggs as conditions required. These prehistoric architects would spend weeks perfecting their constructions, adding decorative elements like colorful stones, beautiful shells, or aromatic plants that may have served both practical and aesthetic purposes. The attention to detail in these ancient nurseries speaks to the deep care and devotion that dinosaur parents felt for their offspring. The healing and recovery practices of dinosaurs show remarkable gentleness and community support. Fossil evidence reveals that injured dinosaurs received care and assistance from their family groups and communities during their recovery periods. Broken bones show evidence of proper healing, suggesting that injured animals were protected and fed while they recuperated. Some fossils show signs that infections were treated, possibly through the application of medicinal plants or other natural remedies. Injured dinosaurs would be allowed to rest in the safest, most comfortable locations, often surrounded by family members who provided warmth and companionship during the healing process. The community would adjust its pace and activities to accommodate recovering members, showing remarkable patience and consideration. These caring behaviors weren't limited to immediate family, as evidence suggests that even distantly related members of the same species would offer assistance to those in need. The gentle approach to healing and recovery created a supportive environment where injuries were seen as temporary setbacks rather than permanent disabilities. The molting process of feathered dinosaurs was a time of special care and protection within their communities. Like modern birds, many dinosaurs would periodically shed and regrow their feathers, a process that left them temporarily vulnerable and in need of extra care. During molting seasons, these dinosaurs would retreat to safe, secluded areas where they could rest comfortably while their new plumage developed. Family members would bring food to molting individuals, ensuring they received proper nutrition without having to venture out while their flight or display feathers were compromised. The new feathers that emerged were often more vibrant and beautiful than the old ones, creating periods of renewed beauty and social display once the molting process was complete. Communities would organize themselves around these natural cycles, with different individuals molting at different times to ensure that some members were always at full strength to watch for danger or gather food. The gentle patience shown during these vulnerable periods demonstrates the deep social bonds and mutual care that characterized dinosaur communities. Dinosaur communication included subtle scent marking that created peaceful territorial arrangements. Many dinosaur species used gentle scent marking to communicate with others of their kind, creating invisible boundaries and information networks that prevented conflicts before they could begin. These scent marks weren't aggressive warnings, but rather polite notifications that provided information about the health, reproductive status, and recent activities of the marker. Young dinosaurs would learn to read these chemical messages from their parents, developing the ability to navigate their social and physical environment through this sophisticated communication system. The scents themselves were often pleasant, derived from the aromatic plants that many dinosaurs consumed, or from specialized glands that produced sweet or earthy fragrances. These invisible messages helped coordinate the movements of different family groups, allowing them to share resources and space without direct confrontation. The result was a harmonious system where territories overlapped peacefully and resources were shared based on need and availability rather than aggressive competition. The grooming behaviors of dinosaurs reveal intimate social bonds and meticulous personal care. Many dinosaur species engaged in elaborate grooming rituals that served both practical and social purposes, creating opportunities for bonding while maintaining health and appearance. Parents would carefully groom their young, removing parasites and debris while strengthening family bonds through gentle physical contact. Adult dinosaurs would groom each other, reaching areas that individuals couldn't clean themselves and sharing this intimate care with mates and close companions. Some species developed specialized tools for grooming, using their claws, beaks, or even small stones to clean their feathers, scales, or skin. The grooming process was never hurried or rough, but rather conducted with patience and gentleness that showed deep respect for the comfort of the recipient. These sessions often became social events where multiple individuals would participate, creating grooming circles where the entire group could benefit from communal care. The result was a population of dinosaurs that were not only physically healthy, but also emotionally bonded through these regular expressions of mutual care. The feeding behaviors of herbivorous dinosaurs created the first conservation practices in Earth's history. These gentle giants understood instinctively that their long-term survival depended on maintaining the health of their plant communities, and they developed feeding strategies that promoted rather than depleted vegetation growth. They would rotate their feeding areas, allowing overgrazed regions to recover while moving on to fresh locations. Their feeding techniques were designed to encourage plant growth, with many species preferring to crop the tips of plants rather than consuming entire individuals, allowing for continued growth and reproduction. Some dinosaurs would even distribute seeds through their droppings, inadvertently planting new vegetation in areas where they traveled. Large herds would spread out while feeding to prevent overuse of any single area, and they would move on before their presence could cause lasting damage to the ecosystem. This natural conservation ethic helped maintain the lush, abundant plant communities that characterized the Mesozoic era and ensured that food sources remained plentiful for countless generations. The sleep cycles of dinosaurs were perfectly attuned to the gentle rhythms of their ancient world. Different species developed sleep patterns that complemented rather than competed with each other, creating a natural system of round-the-clock vigilance that protected entire communities without requiring constant alertness from any individual. Some dinosaurs were naturally early risers who would wake before dawn to begin the day's activities, while others preferred to stay active into the evening hours, providing security as day transitioned to night. The actual sleep of these creatures was deep and restorative, with many species showing evidence of dreaming behaviors similar to modern animals. Sleeping dinosaurs would often arrange themselves in comfortable positions that supported their unique body structures, with long-necked species carefully coiling their necks or resting them on the backs of companions. The breathing patterns of sleeping dinosaur communities would create gentle rhythms that may have helped synchronize sleep cycles and promote deeper rest for the entire group. These natural sleep arrangements ensured that everyone received adequate rest while maintaining the security of the community. The play behaviors of young dinosaurs were sophisticated learning experiences disguised as joyful games. Juvenile dinosaurs engaged in complex play activities that helped them develop the physical skills, social awareness, and problem-solving abilities they would need as adults. These games were never aggressive or harmful, but rather focused on cooperation, communication, and gentle competition that built confidence and competence. Young dinosaurs would chase each other in elaborate games of tag that helped develop their coordination and speed, while also teaching them to be aware of their environment and responsive to social cues. Mock feeding behaviors allowed them to practice the techniques they would need to find and process food as adults, while play fighting taught them social bound, aries, and conflict resolution skills. Adult dinosaurs would often participate in these games, serving as patient teachers and protectors who ensured that play remained safe and beneficial. The laughter and joy of playing young dinosaurs would have been one of the most delightful sounds in the prehistoric world, a constant reminder of the happiness and security that characterized life in these ancient communities. The seasonal activities of dinosaurs followed gentle cycles that celebrated the abundance of their world. As the subtle seasons of the Mesozoic era shifted, dinosaur communities would adjust their activities to take advantage of the changing conditions without experiencing stress or hardship. Spring brought increased social activity as new plant growth provided abundant food and nesting materials, leading to courtship behaviors and the establishment of new family bonds. Summer was a time of plenty when herds could spread out across the landscape, taking advantage of widespread food sources and warm weather to raise their young in comfort. Autumn brought gathering behaviors, as families would come together for migrations or to share information about food sources and safe resting areas. Even the coolest months were mild enough to support active life, with dinosaurs using this time for social bonding, grooming, and rest that prepared them for the more active seasons ahead. These seasonal cycles created natural rhythms that gave structure and meaning to dinosaur life without creating the survival pressures that characterize modern seasonal changes. The water consumption habits of dinosaurs reveal creatures that understood the importance of hydration and cleanliness. Large herbivorous dinosaurs would visit water sources multiple times per day, not just to drink, but also to enjoy the cooling effects of standing in shallow water during warm periods. Their drinking was rarely hurried or competitive, but rather conducted with the patience of creatures who knew that water was abundant and accessible. Many species would use their long necks to reach water sources while keeping their bodies on dry land, minimizing disturbance to aquatic environments and allowing smaller creatures to continue using the water undisturbed. Some dinosaurs developed preferences for specific types of water sources, with some preferring the clear, cool water of springs, while others enjoyed the mineral-rich waters of certain lakes or streams. The act of drinking often became a social activity, with family groups or herds gathering at water sources to hydrate together while sharing information and maintaining social bonds. These peaceful water gatherings were important social events that helped maintain the cohesion and cooperation that characterized dinosaur communities. The nesting material preferences of different dinosaur species created beautiful and functional nurseries. Parent dinosaurs were remarkably selective about the materials they used to construct their nests, choosing substances that would provide optimal comfort, protection, and developmental conditions for their eggs and young. Some species preferred soft plant materials like moss, fern fronds, or flower petals that created cushioned environments perfect for delicate eggs. Others chose aromatic plants that may have provided natural pest control or pleasant scents that helped with bonding and recognition. Certain dinosaurs would travel considerable distances to find specific materials, showing remarkable dedication to creating the perfect environment for their offspring. The arrangement of his materials was often artistic as well as functional, with parents creating patterns and structures that were both beautiful and practical. Some nests included multiple types of materials arranged in layers, each serving a different purpose in temperature regulation, moisture control, or protection. These prehistoric nurseries were marvels of natural engineering and parental devotion, representing some of the most sophisticated nest-building behaviors ever documented in the fossil record. The digestive processes of plant-eating dinosaurs were marvels of biological efficiency that supported their peaceful lifestyle. These gentle giants possessed digestive systems that were perfectly adapted to extract maximum nutrition from plant materials with minimal effort or discomfort. Their multi-chambered stomachs worked like living laboratories, hosting beneficial bacteria and other microorganisms that helped break down cellulose and other tough plant compounds into easily absorbed nutrients. The process was so efficient that these dinosaurs could maintain their enormous body sizes while spending relatively little time actively searching for food, leaving plenty of time for rest, social interaction, and other peaceful activities. Many species would rest quietly while their food digested, often lying down in comfortable positions that aided the digestive process. Some would even regurgitate and rechew their food, similar to modern ruminants, ensuring that every bit of nutrition was extracted from their plant-based diet. This efficient digestion also produced relatively little waste, and what was produced often served as excellent fertilizer that helped maintain the lush plant communities on which these creatures depended. The territorial behaviors of dinosaurs were based on respect and communication, rather than aggression and conflict. Unlike many modern animals, dinosaurs appear to have developed territorial systems that minimized confrontation while ensuring that all individuals had access to necessary resources. Territories were often overlapping and flexible, with boundaries that shifted based on seasonal changes, resource availability, and the needs of different family groups. Communication about territorial boundaries was conducted through gentle displays, vocalizations, and scent marking rather than physical confrontation. Young dinosaurs would learn territorial etiquette from their parents, develop an understanding of appropriate behavior that prevented conflicts before they could develop. When disputes did arise, they were typically resolved through ritualized displays or peaceful negotiations that allowed both parties to maintain their dignity and access to resources. This sophisticated approach to territorial management created a stable social system where competition was minimized and cooperation was maximized, contributing to the overall peaceful nature of dinosaur communities and their remarkable success over millions of years of evolutionary time. The migration routes of dinosaurs created the first superhighways, connecting distant regions in networks of gentle travel. These ancient pathways followed the most comfortable and efficient routes across the prehistoric landscape, avoiding difficult terrain while connecting important feeding areas, nesting sites, and seasonal habitats. The routes were used by countless generations of dinosaurs, creating deep trails that became permanent features of the landscape. Different species would often use the same routes, creating opportunities for social interaction and information sharing between groups that might otherwise rarely meet. The pace of these migrations was leisurely and unhurried, with frequent stops for rest, feeding, and social activities that made the journeys as important as the destinations. Young dinosaurs would experience these migrations as great adventures, learning about navigation, social behavior, and the geography of their world, while enjoying the security of traveling with experienced adults. The migration routes themselves became ecosystems, supporting specialized plant communities and creating corridors of biological diversity that connected distant regions and promoted genetic exchange between populations. The parenting styles of dinosaurs demonstrate remarkable patience and gentle guidance across generations. Adult dinosaurs invested extraordinary amounts of time and energy in teaching their young the skills necessary for peaceful coexistence in their ancient world. These lessons weren't harsh or demanding. but rather conducted through patient demonstration and gentle correction. Parent dinosaurs would lead by example, showing their offspring how to select the most nutritious plants, how to move gracefully through dense vegetation, and how to communicate effectively with other community members. The teaching process was gradual and supportive, with young dinosaurs being allowed to make mistakes in safe environments where learning could occur without serious consequences. Some species developed elaborate mentorship systems where experienced adults would take special interest in unrelated young, creating extended networks of guidance and support that ensured no individual was left without proper education. These patient teaching methods produced generations of well-adapted dinosaurs who understood their role in maintaining the peaceful stability of their communities. The thermoregulation strategies of dinosaurs reveal creatures perfectly adapted to their warm, stable world. Many dinosaur species developed sophisticated methods for maintaining optimal body temperature that relied on behavioral adaptations rather than metabolic stress. Large dinosaurs would position themselves strategically throughout the day, seeking shade during the warmest hours and moving into sunny areas when they needed additional warmth. Some species had specialized body features like sails or crests that helped regulate temperature through controlled blood flow, allowing them to fine-tune their comfort without expending unnecessary energy. Group thermoregulation was also common, with dinosaurs huddling together during cooler periods and spreading out when temperatures rose. These behaviors were so well developed that dinosaurs could maintain perfect comfort throughout their daily activities, never experiencing the thermal stress that might disrupt their peaceful lifestyle. The result was a population of creatures who were always comfortable in their environment, free to focus on the gentle activities of feeding, socializing, and raising their families. The eye structures of many dinosaurs were designed for appreciating beauty rather than detecting danger. Fossil evidence suggests that numerous dinosaur species possessed excellent color vision and the ability to perceive fine details in their environment. These visual capabilities were often used not for hunting or avoiding predators, but rather for appreciating the aesthetic qualities of their world and for complex social communication through visual displays. Some dinosaurs had eyes positioned to provide excellent depth perception for navigating through dense forests or carefully selecting the choicest plant materials. Others had specialized adaptations that allowed them to see subtle color variations in their companions' displays or in the seasonal changes of their plant communities. The placement and structure of dinosaur eyes often indicate creatures that spent considerable time observing their surroundings with curiosity and appreciation rather than constant vigilance for threats. These visual adaptations contributed to rich sensory experiences that made their daily lives filled with beauty and wonder. The dust-bathing rituals of dinosaurs were elaborate social ceremonies that combined hygiene with community bonding. Many dinosaur species would gather at specific locations where the soil composition was perfect for dust bathing, creating communal areas where multiple individuals could engage in this important activity together. The process involved carefully selecting the finest, driest dust and working it through their feathers or into their skin using precise movements that had been refined over millions of years of evolution. These bathing sessions were never hurried or solitary, but rather conducted as social events where family members and friends could groom each other and share in the pleasure of cleanliness and comfort. Young dinosaurs would learn proper dust bathing techniques from their elders, receiving gentle instruction in the selection of appropriate dust and the movements necessary for effective cleaning. The locations used for dust bathing became important social gathering places where information was shared, relationships were maintained, and the community bonds that held dinosaur society together were strengthened through shared activities. The root system interactions of dinosaur-era plants created underground networks that supported the peaceful herbivore communities above. The plant life of the Mesozoic era developed sophisticated underground communication and resource-sharing systems that ensured stable food sources for the dinosaur populations that depended on them. These root networks could distribute water and nutrients across wide areas, preventing any single location from becoming depleted, even when large herds of herbivorous dinosaurs were feeding there regularly. The plants had evolved to benefit from dinosaur grazing, with many species actually growing more vigorously after being carefully cropped by gentle herbivore feeding. This symbiotic relationship created a self-sustaining system where plants and dinosaurs supported each other's well-being through millions of years of coevolution. The result was an ecosystem of remarkable stability and abundance, where both plants and animals thrived in mutual cooperation rather than competition. The memory capabilities of dinosaurs allowed them to maintain complex social relationships across vast time periods. Evidence suggests that many dinosaur species possessed excellent long-term memory that enabled them to remember individual relationships, seasonal patterns, and important locations for years or even decades. This memory capacity was crucial for maintaining the stable social structures that characterized dinosaur communities, allowing individuals to remember their relationships with hundreds of other community members, even after long separations during migrations or seasonal movements. Parent dinosaurs could remember the specific needs and preferences of their offspring long after they had become independent, continuing to provide guidance and support throughout extended lifespans. The ability to remember safe routes, reliable food sources, and comfortable resting locations allowed dinosaur communities to develop traditional knowledge that was passed down through generations, creating cultural continuity that enhanced the peaceful stability of their society. The molting synchronization of feathered dinosaur communities created spectacular seasonal displays of renewal and beauty. Different species would coordinate their molting cycles so that the entire community would undergo feather replacement in carefully timed sequences that maintained group security while allowing for individual renewal. These synchronized molting periods would transform entire regions as millions of dinosaurs simultaneously shed their old feathers and revealed brilliant new plumage underneath. The timing was so precise that it created natural festivals of color and beauty that lasted for weeks, with different species reaching peak plumage condition in carefully orchestrated waves. Young dinosaurs would experience their first molts as community celebrations, receiving extra attention and care from adults who understood the significance of this transition to full adult appearance. The old feathers weren't simply discarded, but were often incorporated into nest construction or used for other practical purposes, demonstrating the resource conservation ethic that characterized these ancient communities. The scent preferences of different dinosaur species created natural aromatherapy systems that enhanced their emotional well-being. Many dinosaurs showed strong preferences for specific plant fragrances and would seek out aromatic flowers, leaves, or bark for the psychological benefits these scents provided. Some species would roll in beds of fragrant plants or collect aromatic materials to line their nests and sleeping areas, creating environments that promoted relaxation and contentment. The ability to process and respond to different scents was highly developed in many dinosaur species, allowing them to use natural aromatics for stress relief, social bonding, and even primitive forms of health care. Communities would often gather around particularly fragrant plant displays, using these locations as natural meeting places where the pleasant scents enhanced social interactions and promoted peaceful communication. These behaviors suggest that dinosaurs understood and actively pursued sensory experiences that enhanced their quality of life and emotional well-being. The cooperative construction behaviors of certain dinosaur species resulted in shared infrastructure that benefited entire communities. Some dinosaur groups would work together to create structures that served communal purposes, such as windbreaks, shade areas, or improved pathways between important locations. These construction projects were undertaken voluntarily and cooperatively, with different individuals contributing materials and labor according to their abilities and availability. The structures themselves were designed to be beneficial to multiple species and age groups, creating shared resources that enhanced the comfort and convenience of community life. Young dinosaurs would participate in these projects as part of their education, learning the value of cooperative effort and community service while developing practical construction skills. The maintenance of these shared structures was also a community responsibility, with different groups taking turns to repair and improve the constructions as needed. The healing properties of certain Mesozoic plants were recognized and utilized by dinosaur communities in sophisticated ways. Many dinosaur species demonstrated knowledge of medicinal plants and would seek out specific vegetation when they were feeling unwell or recovering from injuries. This botanical knowledge was passed down through generations and shared within communities, creating informal healthcare systems that relied on natural remedies. Sick or injured dinosaurs would be guided to locations where medicinal plants grew, and healthy community members would often collect and bring therapeutic vegetation to those who needed it. The selection and application of these plant medicines required considerable knowledge and skill, suggesting that some dinosaurs served as informal healers within their communities. These healing practices were always gentle and supportive, focused on comfort and recovery rather than invasive or painful treatments. The seasonal gathering behaviors of dinosaur communities created temporary cities where knowledge and culture were exchanged across vast regions. During certain times of the year, dinosaur populations from hundreds of miles would converge on specific locations that offered optimal conditions for large gatherings. These temporary communities could contain thousands of individuals from dozens of different species, all coexisting peacefully while participating in complex social exchanges. The gatherings served multiple purposes, including mate selection, information sharing about distant food sources and travel routes, and the transfer of cultural knowledge between different populations. Young dinosaurs would experience these gatherings as transformative events, meeting individuals from distant places, NT regions, and learning about the wider world beyond their immediate family groups. The organization of these massive gatherings was remarkably peaceful and efficient, with different groups maintaining their social structures while participating in larger community activities that benefited everyone involved. The swimming techniques of aquatic dinosaurs demonstrate grace and efficiency that minimize disturbance to their watery environments. These creatures moved through prehistoric waters with fluid motions that created minimal turbulence, allowing them to coexist peacefully with the rich aquatic life that shared their habitats. Their swimming styles were energy efficient and quiet, designed for endurance rather than speed, allowing them to spend extended periods in the water without exhaustion. Many aquatic dinosaur species would swim in coordinated groups, their synchronized movements creating beautiful underwater displays that served both practical and social purposes. The entry and exit from water was always conducted carefully to avoid disturbing nesting sites or feeding areas of other aquatic life, aquatic creatures, demonstrating the environmental awareness that characterized dinosaur behavior. These swimming techniques were passed down through generations as cultural knowledge, with experienced swimmers teaching young dinosaurs the proper methods for navigating different types of water environments. The food-sharing practices of dinosaur communities ensured that no individual ever experienced hunger or malnutrition. When abundant food sources were discovered, the information was quickly and generously shared throughout the community, with successful foragers leading others to profitable feeding locations. Older, more experienced dinosaurs would guide younger ones to the best feeding areas and teach them how to identify the most nutritious plants available in different seasons. During times when food was less abundant, community members would share their finds, ensuring that pregnant females, growing juveniles, and elderly individuals received adequate nutrition. These sharing behaviors extended beyond immediate family groups to include distantly related community members and even individuals from other species when circumstances warranted such generosity. The result was a stable food security system that prevented competition and conflict, while ensuring the health and well-being of all community members. The nap-taking habits of dinosaurs reveal creatures who understood the importance of rest and recovery throughout their daily routines. Many species would take regular rest periods during the day, not just sleeping at night, but also enjoying shorter periods of quiet relaxation when their activities didn't require constant attention. These naps were often taken in comfortable social groups, with individuals resting close enough to provide security for each other while still enjoying peaceful solitude. The timing of these rest periods was often coordinated within family groups or herds, ensuring that some individuals remained alert while others rested. Favorite napping locations were carefully selected for comfort, security, and pleasant surroundings, with many dinosaurs showing preferences for specific types of terrain, vegetation, or proximity to water sources. These regular rest periods contributed to the overall health and longevity of dinosaur populations, while also providing opportunities for social bonding and peaceful contemplation. The courtship gift-giving behaviors of certain dinosaur species involved elaborate presentations of beautiful objects or premium food items. Males would spend considerable time and effort locating and preparing the perfect gifts for potential mates, demonstrating their resourcefulness, taste, and dedication through carefully chosen offerings. These gifts might include rare flowers, unusual stones, perfectly preserved shells, or the finest available food items, all presented with ceremonial care and attention to detail. The selection process often involved extensive travel and careful evaluation of potential gifts, showing remarkable patience and commitment to the courtship process. Females would evaluate these offerings not just for their intrinsic value, but also for what they revealed about the giver's character, intelligence, and potential as a long-term partner. The exchange of courtship gifts created opportunities for extended interaction between potential mates, allowing relationships to develop gradually and naturally, rather than through aggressive competition or hasty decisions. The teaching methods used by adult dinosaurs to educate their young were remarkably sophisticated and individualized to each student's needs and learning style. Parent dinosaurs would observe their offspring carefully to understand their unique personalities, strengths, and areas that needed additional attention, then tailor their teaching approaches accordingly. Some young dinosaurs learned best through direct demonstration, while others benefited from hands-on practice with gentle correction when needed. The pace of education was always unhurried and supportive, allowing each individual to master important skills thoroughly before moving on to more complex concepts. Advanced skills were taught through progressive stages, with each level building naturally on previously mastered abilities. Adult dinosaurs would often collaborate in teaching responsibilities, with different individuals contributing their specialized knowledge and expertise to ensure that young dinosaurs received comprehensive education in all aspects of their future adult lives. The conflict resolution strategies employed by dinosaur communities were based on communication, compromise, and mutual respect rather than dominance or aggression. When disagreements arose, they were typically addressed through careful discussion involving multiple community members who served as mediators and advisors. These resolution processes were designed to address the underlying causes of conflicts, while preserving the dignity and relationships of all parties involved. The solutions that emerged from these discussions were usually creative compromises that met the legitimate needs of everyone while strengthening community bonds through collaborative problem-solving. Young dinosaurs would observe these resolution processes as part of their social education, learning the skills they would need to participate effectively in community governance and maintain peaceful relationships throughout their lives. The success of these systems is evidenced by the remarkable stability and longevity of dinosaur communities across millions of years of evolutionary time. The weather prediction abilities of some dinosaur species allowed communities to prepare for and respond appropriately to changing atmospheric conditions. Certain individuals within dinosaur communities appeared to have enhanced sensitivity to barometric pressure changes, humidity variations, and other atmospheric indicators that preceded weather changes. These naturally gifted weather predictors would communicate their observations to the rest of the community, allowing groups to seek appropriate shelter, adjust their feeding schedules, or modify their travel plans based on anticipated conditions. The weather prediction knowledge was often passed down through family lines and shared freely within communities, creating informal meteorological systems that enhance the safety and comfort of all community members. These predictive abilities were particularly valuable during seasonal transitions or when communities were traveling through unfamiliar territories where local weather patterns might be different from their usual experience. The migration timing of dinosaur herds was coordinated with remarkable precision through subtle environmental cues and community communication. Different family groups would begin sensing the optimal departure times through changes in plant flowering patterns, subtle shifts in daylight duration, or variations in air pressure that preceded seasonal changes. These environmental signals would be interpreted by the most experienced community members, who would then communicate the information through gentle vocalizations and behavioral cues that gradually prepared the entire group for movement. The timing was never rushed or forced, but rather emerged naturally as more and more individuals began to feel the pull toward their seasonal destinations. Young dinosaurs experiencing their first migrations would learn to recognize these subtle signals through observation and guidance from their elders, developing the sensitivity they would need to participate in future migration decisions. The coordination was so precise that multiple herds from different regions would often arrive at shared destinations within days of each other, despite having traveled from locations hundreds of miles apart. The construction of sleeping platforms by certain dinosaur species demonstrates sophisticated engineering skills applied to comfort and safety. Some communities would work together to create elevated sleeping areas using carefully arranged logs, rocks, and packed earth that provided drainage, insulation, and protection from ground-dwelling creatures. These platforms were designed to accommodate multiple individuals while providing each sleeper with adequate space and comfort for restful nights. The construction process was a collaborative effort that could take several days to complete, with different community members contributing materials and labor according to their abilities and the specific requirements of each platform. The platforms were often enhanced with soft bedding materials that were regularly replaced and maintained to ensure optimal sleeping conditions. Some communities would create multiple platforms of different sizes to accommodate various family groups and age categories, creating sleeping villages that could house entire populations during their resting periods. The musical development of young dinosaurs involved extended apprenticeships with accomplished adult singers who passed down complex vocal traditions through generations. These educational relationships were based on patience, encouragement, and gradual skill development that allowed each young dinosaur to find their unique voice while mastering the traditional songs of their community. The learning process began with simple imitation exercises and gradually progressed to more complex vocalizations that required precise breath control, timing, and emotional expression. Adult teachers would often spend months or even years working with individual students, providing personalized instruction that took into account each learner's natural abilities and interests. The most gifted young singers would eventually become teachers themselves, ensuring the continuity of musical traditions, while also contributing their own innovations and creative interpretations to the community's vocal repertoire. The tool-making abilities of certain dinosaur species involved the careful selection and modification of natural objects for specific purposes. Some communities developed techniques for shaping stones, sticks, and other materials into implements that could be used for digging, food processing, or nest construction. The creation of these tools required considerable planning and skill, with experienced toolmakers teaching others the techniques needed to identify suitable raw materials and modify them effectively. The tools themselves were often shared within family groups and communities, creating collections of specialized implements that could be used by multiple individuals as needed. The development of tool-making traditions represented a significant intellectual achievement that enhanced the quality of life for entire communities while demonstrating the problem-solving capabilities that characterized advanced dinosaur societies. The artistic expressions found in some dinosaur communities included the creation of decorative arrangements using colorful stones, shells, and plant materials. These displays were not random collections, but carefully composed arrangements that showed aesthetic sensibility and creative planning. Different individuals would contribute elements to community art projects, creating collaborative works that enhanced the beauty of shared living spaces. The artistic activities served multiple purposes, providing creative outlets for individual expression, while also creating landmarks and gathering places that strengthened community identity and cohesion. Young dinosaurs would participate in these artistic endeavors as both contributors and observers, developing their own aesthetic sensibilities while learning to appreciate the creative efforts of others. The artistic traditions of some communities were maintained across generations, with specific techniques and styles being passed down through family lines and continuing to evolve over time. The water quality assessment skills of dinosaur communities ensured that all members had access to safe, clean drinking sources throughout their territories. Experienced individuals within each community developed expertise in evaluating water sources for purity, mineral content, and safety, using their enhanced senses of taste and smell to detect potential problems before they could affect community health. This knowledge was shared freely and taught to younger community members as part of their essential life skills education. The water quality experts would regularly test and monitor known sources while also evaluating new locations discovered during travels or migrations. When contaminated or unsafe water was identified, the information would be quickly communicated throughout the community, and alternative sources would be located and shared. This systematic approach to water safety contributed significantly to the health and longevity of dinosaur populations, while demonstrating their sophisticated understanding of environmental health principles. The horticultural practices of some dinosaur communities involved the deliberate cultivation and management of preferred food plants in areas surrounding their permanent or seasonal habitats. These ancient gardeners would clear competing vegetation, improve soil conditions, and even transplant desirable species to locations where they could be more easily accessed and maintained. The cultivation work was performed cooperatively, with different community members contributing labor and expertise to ensure successful plant establishment and growth. The managed plant communities required ongoing care, including watering during dry periods, protection from overgrazing, and selective harvesting that promoted continued growth and reproduction. These horticultural activities represented some of the earliest agricultural practices in Earth's history, demonstrating remarkable foresight and environmental management skills that ensured sustainable food sources for future generations. The mentorship systems within dinosaur communities created formal relationships between experienced adults and promising young individuals who showed particular aptitude in specialized skills. These mentoring relationships extended beyond basic parent-child education to include intensive training in complex abilities such as navigation, weather prediction, plant identification, or advanced social leadership. The mentors were carefully selected based on their expertise and teaching abilities, while students were identified through observation of their natural talents and interests. The mentoring process was highly individualized and could continue for many years, creating strong bonds between teachers and students that often lasted throughout their lifetimes. These relationships ensured that specialized knowledge and skills were preserved and transmitted effectively across generations, while also providing opportunities for innovation and improvement in traditional practices. The recreational activities enjoyed by dinosaur communities included elaborate games that combined physical exercise with social interaction and skill development. These games were often seasonal events that brought together multiple family groups for friendly competitions and celebrations. The activities were designed to be inclusive, with different versions that accommodated various age groups and physical capabilities, ensuring that everyone could participate and enjoy the social benefits of community recreation. The games often incorporated elements of cooperation as well as competition, teaching valuable lessons about teamwork and mutual support while providing entertainment and physical conditioning. Winners were celebrated not for dominating others, but for demonstrating skill, sport, sportsmanship, and contribution to community enjoyment. These recreational traditions helped strengthen social bonds while providing outlets for energy and creativity that enhanced the overall quality of community life. The preservation techniques developed by some dinosaur communities allowed them to store food and other valuable materials for future use during less abundant periods. These preservation methods involved careful preparation and storage of plant materials, using natural processes such as drying, fermentation, or burial in specific soil conditions that prevented spoilage. The preserved foods were stored in communal caches that were maintained and guarded by the entire community, ensuring that the benefits were shared fairly among all members. The preservation work required considerable knowledge and skill, with experienced individuals teaching others the proper techniques for preparing different types of materials and maintaining storage areas. These food security systems provided insurance against seasonal variations and unexpected shortages, while demonstrating remarkable planning abilities and community cooperation. The architectural innovations of advanced dinosaur communities included the construction of sophisticated shelter systems that provided protection from weather while maintaining comfortable living conditions. These structures incorporated principles of ventilation, drainage, and thermal regulation that created optimal indoor environments using only natural materials and techniques. The construction projects were major community undertakings that required careful planning, resource management, and coordinated labor from many individuals over extended periods. The finished structures were designed to accommodate multiple families while providing privacy and personal space for individual households. The architectural knowledge required for these projects was developed over many generations and represented some of the most advanced engineering achievements of the prehistoric world. The diplomatic protocols used by dinosaur communities for interactions with neighboring groups were based on formal customs and traditions that promoted peaceful relationships and mutual benefit. These diplomatic practices included gift exchanges, formal greetings, and structured negotiations that allowed different communities to resolve conflicts and coordinate activities without aggression or hostility. The diplomatic representatives were carefully chosen for their communication skills, cultural knowledge, and ability to represent their community's interests while maintaining respectful relationships with other groups. The diplomatic traditions were passed down through generations and evolved over time to accommodate changing circumstances and relationships between communities. These peaceful diplomatic systems enabled multiple dinosaur communities to coexist successfully across shared territories while maintaining their distinct identities and traditions. The environmental monitoring systems developed by dinosaur communities involved systematic observation and assessment of ecological conditions throughout their territories. Different individuals would specialize in monitoring specific aspects of their environment, such as plant health, water quality, weather patterns, or the presence of other species that might affect community well-being. The information gathered through these monitoring activities was regularly shared and discussed within the community, allowing for coordinated responses to environmental changes or potential problems. The monitoring systems were particularly important during migrations, when communities needed to assess unfamiliar territories and adapt their behavior to new environmental conditions. These systematic approaches to environmental awareness demonstrated remarkable ecological sophistication and contributed significantly to the long-term success and sustainability of dinosaur populations. The cultural exchange programs between different dinosaur communities created opportunities for sharing knowledge, traditions, and innovations across vast geographic regions. These exchanges involved formal visits between communities during which participants would observe and learn about different approaches to common challenges such as food procurement, shelter construction, or social organization. The visiting arrangements were carefully planned and coordinated to ensure mutual benefit while respecting the customs and traditions of host communities. Young dinosaurs often participated in these exchanges as part of their education, gaining exposure to different ways of life while developing appreciation for diversity and innovation. The knowledge and techniques acquired through cultural exchanges would be adapted and integrated into the practices of participating communities, creating ongoing processes of improvement and development that benefited entire populations. The therapeutic practices developed by dinosaur healers included specialized techniques for treating injuries, illnesses, and emotional distress through natural methods and community support. These healing practices combined knowledge of medicinal plants with understanding of anatomy, behavior, and social dynamics to provide comprehensive care for community members in need. The healers were respected individuals who dedicated significant portions of their lives to developing and practicing their therapeutic skills, often serving multiple communities and traveling considerable distances to provide care where needed. The healing treatments were always gentle and supportive, designed to work with natural recovery processes rather than against them. The therapeutic knowledge was carefully preserved and transmitted to new generations of healers through intensive apprenticeship programs that ensured continuity and development of these vital community services. The seasonal celebration traditions of dinosaur communities marked important transitions and milestones, with elaborate festivals that brought together multiple generations for shared enjoyment and cultural reinforcement. These celebrations included specific ceremonies for events such as the first flowering of important food plants, the successful completion of migrations, or the coming of age of young community members. The festivals involved coordinated activities such as group singing, dancing, feasting, and storytelling that reinforced community bonds while preserving cultural traditions and values. The preparation for these celebrations was often as important as the events themselves, with different individuals contributing their specialized skills to create decorations, prepare special foods, or organize entertainment that would be enjoyed by all participants. These celebratory traditions provided regular opportunities for communities to reaffirm their shared identity and values, while creating positive memories and experiences that strengthened social cohesion. The navigation techniques mastered by dinosaur communities enabled them to travel accurately across vast distances using natural landmarks, celestial observations, and environmental cues. The most skilled navigators could guide entire communities along complex routes that might involve multiple destinations and route changes based on seasonal conditions or resource availability. The navigation knowledge included understanding of terrain features, water sources, weather patterns, and the behavior of other species that might provide information about local conditions. This expertise was developed through years of experience and careful observation, with master navigators teaching their skills to promising students who would eventually become guides for future generations. The navigation abilities of these communities were so advanced that they could maintain contact and coordination with other groups across hundreds of miles of territory, while ensuring that all community members reach their destinations safely and efficiently. The food preparation rituals of dinosaur communities involved elaborate processes that transformed simple plant materials into nutritious and flavorful meals through careful selection and gentle processing techniques. Different community members would specialize in various aspects of food preparation, from identifying the ripest fruits to preparing tough plant fibers through natural fermentation processes that enhanced both digestibility and taste. The preparation work was conducted in communal areas where multiple families could work together, sharing techniques and socializing while creating meals that would nourish entire communities. These food preparation sessions were often accompanied by soft singing or gentle conversation that made the work enjoyable and strengthened social bonds. The finished foods were always shared generously, with special attention given to ensuring that grown juveniles, pregnant females, and elderly community members received the most nutritious portions available. The sleeping position preferences of different dinosaur species reveal remarkable consideration for both personal comfort and community safety during vulnerable rest periods. Large herbivorous dinosaurs would often sleep in carefully arranged circles with their heads facing outward, creating protective barriers around smaller community members while maintaining alertness for any unusual sounds or movements. Smaller dinosaurs preferred to nestle together in natural shelters, where their combined body heat created warm, comfortable sleeping environments that promoted deep, restorative rest. Some species developed the ability to sleep while standing, allowing them to remain partially alert while still obtaining necessary rest. The breathing patterns of sleeping dinosaur communities created gentle rhythms that seemed to synchronize across groups, promoting deeper sleep for all participants. These sleeping arrangements were so effective that entire communities could rest peacefully through the night while maintaining the security necessary for survival in their ancient world. The grooming tool innovations developed by certain dinosaur species included the use of specially selected stones, sticks, and plant materials for cleaning and maintaining their feathers, scales, and skin. These primitive tools were carefully chosen for their texture, durability, and effectiveness in removing parasites or debris from hard-to-reach areas. The tool-making process required considerable skill and knowledge, with experienced individuals teaching others how to identify suitable materials and modify them for optimal grooming effectiveness. Different tools were used for different purposes, with some designed for gentle cleaning of sensitive areas, while others were more effective for removing tough debris or stubborn parasites. The grooming tools were often shared within family groups and communities, creating collections of specialized implements that enhanced personal hygiene and health for all community members. The weather shelter construction techniques mastered by advanced dinosaur communities resulted in temporary structures that could be quickly assembled when unexpected storms or temperature changes threatened community comfort and safety. These emergency shelters were designed using readily available materials such as large leaves, fallen branches, and natural rock formations, that could be arranged to provide effective protection from wind, rain, or excessive heat. The construction process was highly efficient, with different community members taking on specific roles based on their size, strength, and expertise to ensure rapid assembly when conditions required immediate shelter. The shelters themselves were spacious enough to accommodate multiple families, while providing adequate ventilation and comfort during extended periods of occupancy. The knowledge required for effective shelter construction was passed down through generations and regularly practiced during calm weather to ensure readiness when emergency situations arose. And now, as these gentle truths about our ancient companions settle softly into your mind, let yourself drift deeper into the quiet peace of this prehistoric world. We've journeyed together through millions of years, discovering not monsters or terrors, but creatures who lived with grace, kindness, and remarkable intelligence. From tiny feathered dinosaurs no bigger than sparrows to massive gentle giants who moved like living mountains, from elaborate nesting colonies to peaceful migration routes that connected distant lands. We've seen a world built on cooperation rather than conflict, on patience rather than aggression. These ancient beings remind us that life has always found ways to flourish through gentleness, that communities can thrive through mutual care and understanding, and that even in a world vastly different from our own, the same quiet virtues of compassion, family bonds, and peaceful coexistence shaped daily existence. Their soft songs still echo through deep time. Their careful footsteps still mark pathways of patience, and their gentle parenting continues to whisper lessons about nurturing and protection. Tonight, as you rest, may you carry with you the peaceful rhythms of that ancient world, the slow breathing of sleeping herds, the gentle lapping of warm waters, and the soft rustle of feathers in prehistoric breezes. And if you found comfort in these quiet discoveries, consider subscribing for more gentle journeys through the wonders of our world. Sleep well and dream softly of dinosaurs.